Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another very easy keto dessert recipe for you. Today I am going to show you how to make a very easy keto brownie loaf. This dessert is so incredibly easy. All you do is throw everything together in one bowl, mix it, bake it, boom. Can't get any easier than that. And if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janet'sdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos, at least every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So, while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Line an 8.5 by 4.5 inch loaf pan with parchment paper and allow the paper to hang over the sides just a little bit so that you can easily remove the brownie loaf once it's done baking. If you don't have an 8.5 by 4.5, an 8 by 4 will be just fine. In a large mixing bowl, combine 56 grams or around a half cup of coconut flour, 27 grams or around a third cup of cocoa powder, 50 grams or around a fourth cup of the granulated sweetener of your choice. I'm using granulated monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever granulated sweetener you want. You can also adjust this more or less depending on how sweet you want your brownies. Add 38 grams or around 3 tablespoons of the brown sugar sweetener of your choice. I'm using brown monk fruit sweetener. Again, you can use whatever brown sugar sweetener you want. And again, you can adjust this more or less depending on how sweet you want your brownies. Add 10 grams or around 2 teaspoons of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And if you want to, you can add some dry spices or some dry seasonings for a different flavor. If you're wanting this to not just be a plain chocolate brownie loaf, you can add some different flavors. Sift everything together until everything is fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add 3 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature so they stir in smoothly. Stir the eggs into the dry ingredients until everything is fully combined and all the dry ingredients are moist. Add 180 grams or around 3/4 cup of room temperature sour cream, or if you don't want to use sour cream, you can use plain yogurt. Just make sure this is room temperature so that it stirs in smoothly. Stir everything together until everything is fully combined. Add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You can adjust this a little bit more or a little bit less depending on how much of a vanilla hint you want in your brownies. You can also change the extract flavor if you're wanting a different flavor to your brownie loaf. Add a 1/4 cup of butter that's been melted and cooled. Make sure it is slightly cooled. You do not want to add hot butter. Stir everything together until everything is fully combined and a thick batter has formed. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the batter to the center of the bowl. If you want to, you can add some nuts or some chocolate chips or any add-ins of your choice if you want to. You don't have to add anything if you don't want to. I'm adding around 4 ounces of keto chocolate chips. I'm actually using Lily's salted caramel chocolate chips, so it gives it a really nice flavor with that. You can also adjust more or less depending on how much chocolate chips or whatever add-ins that you want. Pour the batter into your prepared loaf pan. Then use a spatula and spread the batter evenly throughout the loaf pan. Make sure you get it as even as possible and try to keep the top nice and smooth. Once the batter is spread evenly, place the pan in your preheated oven and bake at 350 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes or until a tester comes out clean. Once the brownie loaf is done baking, remove it from the oven. It'll be soft, but it will firm up as it cools. Allow it to cool in the pan for at least 30 minutes or until it's firm. Once the brownie loaf is firm, grasp the overhanging parchment paper and carefully lift the loaf out of the pan, then transfer it to a wire rack and allow it to cool completely before slicing it. Once the loaf has cooled completely, You can slice it into your desired size slice. If you want to, before you slice it, you can top it with some frosting or some powdered sweetener, or you can just leave it plain, however you want to do that. All right, we are back. I've got my little brownie loaf sliced. Now you can make these into any slices you want. I pretty much slice them about the thickness of a piece of bread because it's just a little bit of taste of something sweet. I don't want it to be really rich and decadent. It's just a little taste of something sweet and chocolate. I don't know if you see there, I sprinkled a little bit of powdered sweetener on the top of my loaf before I cut it also. That's up to you if you want to do that. So, looks good, smells good. Those are all good signs. Let's see what this baby tastes like. That's really good. Really good. Got a nice, moist, fudgy inside. I really like that. Definitely, definitely, definitely. And if you're one of those that likes an extra gooey center, you can always cook it a little bit less. Just keep in mind that coconut flour baked goods, when they are slightly undercooked, can be more fragile when you go to cut them. So it's all up to you, you know, how you like your texture. To me, this is perfect. It's nice and moist, got a little bit of that fudgy feel to it, and those chocolate chips in there. Yummy, yummy. You can eat this immediately. If you do have any leftovers, store it in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 3 days, or you can store it in an airtight container in your refrigerator for up to 5 days, or you can slice it into individual pieces and put some parchment paper in between each one of the individual pieces, then place it in a freezer-safe bag or freezer-safe container, and you can freeze it for up to 1 month. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.